The British enjoy using slang and wordplay, and even as a native speaker, you might find yourself in a situation where you won't understand some expressions or sayings. Many common words put together in a new context might take on whole other meanings, and it might be confusing. In this video, we will explore 20 British expressions that you can use as well. Quid. This is another word for pound in the monetary context. This word is rarely used in singular, and it stays unchanged in the plural form. And it's usually considered very informal. For example, it cost me 70 quid. Flog. This means to sell. For example, there are a lot of websites where you can flog your old stuff. The normal meaning for flog is to beat or whip. For example, if you want your racehorse to go faster, you flog it. So if you put this word into the context of selling something, it means that you will sell it quickly. Brolly. This is an abbreviation of umbrella. For example, when in the UK, you should carry a brolly. Bob's your uncle. This expression is usually used after describing some process and to show that it's actually fairly simple to do. For example, to open your email, press this button and Bob's your uncle. The story behind this expression is that one English prime minister, whose nickname was Bob, chose his nephew into an important role in the government, and people were convinced that this person received the job thanks to the fact that his uncle was Bob. Hence, the expression means receiving or doing something very easily. Splash out. This expression means buying something extra luxurious and expensive, either to yourself or to somebody else. But in any case, spending more than you usually would. For example, we splashed out on a really good bottle of wine. Take the biscuit. This expression shows that somebody is demanding too much from somebody else or requiring them to do too much, or their efforts being unrecognized. For example, my boss asked me to work the whole weekend. It really took the biscuit. Take the Mick. This expression means to make fun of somebody and to say something that is not true. For example, somebody saying, "I love your outfit," and the other person says, "Are you taking the Mick? It looks awful." Dodgy. This is an expression which you can use when something can't be entirely trusted or is broken. It might be a piece of furniture, a website, or another person. For example, "I ate some dodgy Thai food and I was ill all night." Bloke. This actually just means a man and is used similarly to the word guy. You might hear expressions like "just an ordinary bloke" or etc. But usually you would never hear this word when somebody is describing somebody in a negative way. For example, "James is a decent bloke." Bog standard. This is an expression to use when you are describing something which is ordinary or even a little bit disappointing. For example, "My day has been bog standard." Got it. Well, this means to be disappointed. In direct meaning, it actually means to take out the entrails of an animal or a fish. But usually, it's used to say that I'm disappointed in something. For example, "I'm gutted that my new car got stolen." Cheers. This can be used before having a drink, to say salute to everybody, and to thank somebody for something trivial. For example, "Cheers," she said, raising her glass. Nicked. This is an expression that you can use when something is stolen. For example, "My car got nicked last night." But if you would like to use this expression related to a person, then it would mean that the police arrested them. For example, "Tom got nicked." Faff. This is a noun that means that something is very time-consuming or complicated. For example, if you want to sue somebody, but it's a very difficult process, you could say, "I could sue them, but it's such a faff." Budge up. Now, this expression is used if it's very crowded and you want somebody to make room for you to sit. So, for example, you're sitting in an event and you see that your sister is arriving, so you need to make space for her. So you would say, budge up, my sister is here. Spend a penny. This expression is used when you are going to go to the toilet. For example, I'm going to spend a penny. I'll be back in a moment. So this is used when you're describing something that is exceptional. For example, that ice cream is the bee's knees. I love that expression. Now, this word is used when somebody is very nicely and elegantly dressed. For example, you look very dapper in that dress. This is an awesome word that is used if you want to say that you want something. I use this all the time. For example, I fancy a chocolate bar right now. And fancy going to the theater tonight? Now, this is an expression that you can use when something really bad happened and it was a bad timing for it. For example, sod's law, I waited for weeks for my new car, but then it got stolen on the first day.